Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to talk about what the best cooking oils are to use for anti-aging. Coming up. Hi everyone, this is Ernesto from Attaboy Cowboy, and on this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you be more successful. Now in today's video I'm going to talk about cooking oils. A lot of people use cooking oils every day in their food. They fry food, they bake food, they stir fry it, whatever. And cooking oils are actually really important for brain function, but you have to make sure you're using the right oils. Now a lot of the oils that we use commercially, what they call vegetable oils, are made using solvents and other chemicals that actually extract the oil from the seed or the vegetable that they're creating the oil from. And that stuff can be really toxic. And in addition to that, they tend to have high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids. Now there's omega-3, omega-6, omega-9 are the most common types of fatty acids that humans eat in their diet, and all of them have different benefits. The issue is that they're supposed to be ingested in low quantities. So omega-6, when ingested in higher quantities, has an inflammatory effect on your body. So it actually causes inflammation and aging, which you don't want. So some of the most common commercially available oils that you want to avoid in your diet are soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, which interesting enough is actually made out of rapeseed oil and was actually created in Canada as a motor oil. So they started making this canola oil, which actually stands for Canada oil, to lubricate engines. And it was so easy and economical to make, they started saying, hey, why don't we use this stuff to cook with? So they actually started making canola oil. Canola oil is only made in Canada and exported around the world. It's very, very inexpensive and it's a good cooking oil, but it's not good for your health. So again, that's one of the oils you want to avoid. You also want to avoid cottonseed oil, sunflower seed oil, peanut oil, and rice bran oil. And I know that pretty much names all of the oils you can get, or most of them, but those are the ones that have high levels of omega-6 and have a lot of chemicals that are used to produce them on a commercial scale. So those are the ones you want to avoid. Now, another thing you want to look at is smoke point. Smoke point means how high of a temperature that oil can withstand before it actually starts to break down. When it starts to break down, it starts to become toxic and it produces carcinogens. So there are some oils like grapeseed oil or avocado oil, which have high smoke points, are actually pretty decent. You can eat those as well, which means that because they have a higher smoke point, they are able to withstand higher temperatures without breaking down and becoming toxic. So those are good. But now my favorite oil to cook with is coconut oil. There's a lot of health benefits to it. Has a lot of really healthy fats in it that your brain likes, and it has a really high smoke point. So coconut oil is probably one of my favorite commercially available oils, which is good for your health. Remember, your brain is made of fat. If you've ever seen a cow brain, it's like jello. It's all fat. Now for muscle, you need protein. You eat meat, you take protein shakes, you eat eggs. That's going to help build up your muscle, but it's not going to build your brain. You actually need fats to build your brain. So if you're on a low-fat diet, remember that can actually do brain damage. That can cause memory problems, dementia, other issues as you age. I know when I go to the gym and I see men and women that are just ripped and they have these beautiful bodies, the first thing that comes to mind is, wow, I wonder how much brain damage they're doing to themselves, because a lot of them on zero fat diets. You don't want that. You absolutely need brain food. You need oil. Oil is brain food. So even though you're on a diet where you want to get big muscle, you have to balance it by making sure you're getting healthy oils. Now, you don't want to get fried food or some of those commercially available oils that are not good for you that I mentioned earlier in your diet, because your brain is not really able to use those as effectively. Now, why do you want to avoid fried foods? Again, it goes back to this issue of smoke point. If you're frying potatoes to make French fries, you're frying chicken or whatever, that high heat causes the nutrients in that food to denature, which means they break down, and you're not going to get all the health benefits from that piece of chicken or that potato or that zucchini or those green beans or whatever it is you're frying. Also, when you reach higher temperatures, you cause more oxidation, which means that more carcinogens are actually pushed into that food, and you're going to eat that. So it's going to cause more acidity in your body, which increases your risk of getting cancers. So fried food is definitely something you want to avoid. But again, just because you're using oil doesn't mean you're frying things. You also use it in baking, use it in sauteing, use it in a lot of other things. I actually have some coconut oil on the side of my bed, and I take a couple of teaspoons, well, actually one in the morning when I wake up and one at night before I go to sleep. The reason being is I want to give my brain some food so it has something to feed on during the night. And studies have shown that it actually helps boost your intelligence, and it helps prevent brain oxidation, which is going to lead to increased memory, increased processing time, and less brain disease as you age. So think about taking some healthy oils before you go to sleep or in the morning, or both if you can. Now, one of the other more common oils you use is olive oil. Olive oil is also another exceptional oil. It's very, very healthy for you. The only thing that olive oil does not have is a high smoke point. So when you cook with olive oil, you're basically wasting it. You're destroying all the health properties in the olive oil. You're actually making it toxic. It starts to build up carcinogens as the temperature goes up. So don't waste your olive oil. If you're going to eat olive oil, sprinkle it on your salads or on some of your meals, and that's the way to use it. Now, the other thing with olive oil, there's different kinds. You definitely want to go for extra virgin olive oil. It basically just means it has less processing. So it's going to have more health benefits, more of the benefits that come with that oil that comes from the fruit. Now remember, an olive is a fruit. So when you squeeze that fruit, it's going to extract its oil. There's another thing called cold pressed olive oil. And if you look at these two bottles, this is extra virgin olive oil and this is cold pressed olive oil. Now, if you look at the bottles, they're both dark. The reason being is that these oils are light sensitive. So light also causes the oil to break down and lose its antioxidant properties. That's why it's in a dark bottle. You want to store this in a dark cabinet where it's not exposed to heat. That will help the oil maintain much longer. Now, what's the difference between extra virgin olive oil and cold pressed extra virgin olive oil? Well, the difference is that this is extracted with a machine, and machines create heat, and heat breaks down antioxidants. When you think about vitamin C, for example, it's heat sensitive. So if you get an orange or an apple and you want to try to get the health benefits of that vitamin C in that orange, and you cook that orange, you just destroyed all the vitamin C and some of the other antioxidants because they're heat sensitive. So the idea with the cold pressed extra virgin olive oil is there's no heat involved. They actually get the fruit, which in this case is the olive, and they squeeze it with a machine. When it's cold pressed, you're basically extracting the oil out of the fruit, which in this case is the olive, without any heat. And a lot of times they'll use a device that squeezes it. And when there's no heat present, you're preserving a lot more of the antioxidant properties that are available in the olives to make that olive oil. Now, if you go ahead and drop that in your frying pan and fry your eggs, guess what? You just threw your money down the drain. You wasted all the health benefits by heating it up. So my favorite oil for eating in salads and other dishes and dipping breads in, etc., or pouring over sauteed vegetables is cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. And if you look at it, it kind of has a milky color to it. That's actually enzymes that are in there. There's actually live enzymes in cold pressed olive oil. That's another benefit that's really good for your gut. It's really good for your intestinal system. It's great if you have any digestive problems. So again, my top 2 oils are coconut oil for cooking and olive oil, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil for sprinkling on your food. Those are the 2 best oils, in my opinion, that you can use for your brain and for eating healthy food. And anti-aging, and it has benefits for skin. So next time you're making some pasta sauce or you're sauteing some food and you're trying to figure out what types of oil to use, again, these are my top 2. Coconut oil and olive oil. Thank you again for listening, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.